Match reaction, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Your reaction to that game?
Obviously, I'm disappointed. I think everybody will be disappointed. It's not the manner of the style or the way United played. It was in the schoolboy era. And it was, to be honest, it was embarrassing. Everyone knows it was. It was like a repeat of what we'd seen last year. And I thought to myself, let's not start this. And to be fair to United, they played well in that first half. I thought they played well in the second half. Arsenal didn't really go at it. They were 1-0 up. But to lose a game like that when United played so well, first game of the season, new players on the pitch, I thought to myself, the future looks bright. And that's what's disappointing by it, because there was good football. And the best thing about watching United today, they kept the shape. And there's one thing we all know what happened last year. Big gaps right through the middle. It was sorted today. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was a lot better, a lot of optimism. And I thought to myself, a draw, that's really what the score should have been. And that's what makes it disappointing. One big mistake, and it was a big mistake. And the thing is, he didn't really have that much to do, the goalie.
I actually thought Raya probably was the more active of the goalkeepers out of the two.
Yeah, he was more active. United were like more attacking. Arsenal were playing more counter-attacking football. And they did have the moments going forward. And they did look solid at times. But I thought to myself in the first half, it was the same old Arsenal. They were winning 1-0. And what they were doing these fouls. They were stopping the game. They did it in the second half. I'm not blaming them. Right, it's 1-0. It's the first game of the season. They won't be up to full scratch. We're not. But the good thing is about it all, you can see a difference. Losing at Old Trafford at any time, is disappointing. But to lose to that type of goal, it was criminal.
Yeah, second.
Honest to God, it was criminal. And I think United fans trying to talk about the game, I think that'll just eat away at them, because there was an opportunity there, and you were seeing good football. A lot of people will not be happy with that starting 11. I think no one could really pick that starting 11. I was disappointed. There was one or two positions there what should have started. Listen, Mason Mount, for instance, I didn't fancy Mason Mount up front. But as a game of football, he had a hell of a game today. But we need a focus up front. That's what we needed. And I think that's what was missing.
I still think Cunha, though, done a good job, though, today. First half and second half. Some of the touches, his passing and his ball carrying in particular, though.
No, listen, I've got no criticism whatsoever of Cunha. I thought he had an excellent game of football. Same with Mbumo. You can see what's coming, okay? What I was disappointed at was Casemiro playing. I didn't like that. But I have to say, and people will say, they were solid in that first half. It's only the second half when Casemiro was tiring. But I just thought United had some really good passes of football. But the one thing I would not have done is put Dalot out on the wing back. Ahmad should have been on. And I did say it in my pre-match. I wanted Ahmad on there, and you could see in that first half, if Ahmad would have been on there, he would have pushed them back. He would have run at them on the final. But the final ball at times was poor from Dalot and from quite a few players, to be honest with you. That's really my only criticism, because it is the first game. And really, Ruben Amorim's got to look at it and say to himself, how do you push him back? Well, you don't push him back with Dalot.
I mean, we've always been on eggshells over the last few years with United when they're playing out from the back. And you said that you've seen differences in United's play already in the first game compared to last season. Is that something that you've seen different as well? Tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, I looked at it in the pre-season, and you could see that they wanted to play football. And with Euro, it's Euro where it's coming through. And I've seen that in pre-season. And I have to say today, for the first time in 90 minutes of football at Old Trafford, right, they were composed. Yeah, yes, I heard the moans and the groans when, oh no, he's passed it short. But they knew what they were doing. Yeah. And that was the good thing about today. And that's what makes it disappointing. They stuck to the plan, right? They never wavered. That football at the back, not all the time, right? Sometimes they had to kick it long, which you do, right? But when they did, playing from the back, coming out, I thought it was a 100% improvement on what we've seen. And you have to be positive. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Give a message of hope and positivity going forward. It's a disappointing result, but you can see optimism going forward.
Would you go out and get a goalkeeper, though, this week?
Well, you tell me, really, has anyone really got any faith in any of the goalkeepers at United? You said to me about the goal today, it reminded you of in the League Cup game at Tottenham away, exactly the same goalkeeper. But no, I've no faith in the goalkeepers going, because there's a mistake in them all. Okay, we all know that, right? But can they go and get a goalkeeper? And I've always said that they're going to keep Onana this year. So really, I thought Onana would have played today, and he didn't. And to me, I think he should have done.
Yeah, I think people out there, if, you know, obviously getting beat today, it does put a dampener on things, obviously. Yeah. But they will say, some people, that there was 200 million worth of attacking players on there today, and it's the same old story. United couldn't get on the score sheet. What would you say to that?
No, it's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, Kuna, right, and then Bumo, for instance. It's their first game at Old Trafford, right? Serious game in the league, okay? So for me, I look at all the players. Look at De Ligt, for instance. My God, what an excellent game he had. And these other players, I didn't want Luke Shaw on the pitch. I thought Aiden Heaven, but I didn't realise he was injured. But the thing is, Luke Shaw played well, right? I don't think you can criticise many of the players out there on that pitch, because they all knew what they were doing. There was a fight, there was an energy, right? And they pushed it from the first minute right the way through. I never expected, right, Arsenal to score, except for that mistake. They did not look like scoring.
You talk about Casemiro as well in the midfield, Bruno as well. A lot of people out there don't like to see that combination in the midfield too, but they were playing Arsenal today, and Arsenal, by a lot of people's opinions, will be challenging for the league this season.
Listen, nobody was happy, and I don't think many people are happy with Bruno in that position. And then you look at Casemiro. I can criticise Casemiro because he hasn't got the legs. And there was a few times he was doing the slide tackles and he was getting caught. But him and Bruno today, in that middle, they did the job. Now, I asked for Bruno, right, concentration, keep discipline. And what you've seen throughout, not just with Bruno, same with Casemiro, you've seen discipline. And you've got to look at it and thought, they played well. Will that continue right through the season with Casemiro? Not a chance. But what happened was, Ugarte came on. He didn't really do himself any favours. So there's still a little bit of worry there. But overall, as a game, I thought Arsenal played it tactically right.
Yeah.
1-0 up, first game of the season. They're getting used to each other. They used a lot of substitutes. And I think they just kept doing the fouls, stopping the game, regrouping, getting behind the ball. So for Arsenal, that's the way I see they played. For United, I think they had moments. They had like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there where they went at it. But they were solid in defence. And I thought that really they held. Look at Gyökeres. He's got nothing. De Ligt had him all game. So for me, you can see going forward, there is hope, right? But not false hope. This is hope because that team stayed as it was right the way through. First game of the season. That's how you've got to look at it, right? And just say, right, a draw would have been an excellent result against Arsenal. You know where they've been in the seasons, last 3 seasons, challenging for the league. That's who we was playing. They've upgraded their team. But United was more than on a par. And at times, it was their goalkeeper who had more work to do than ours. So it's an unlucky loss today, but an absolute howler, schoolboy error, and it should never have been made. And that should never, ever happen, okay? But it's happened before, and I am really, really frustrated with that, and I think everyone else will be.
The one thing that I was happy with today as well was the actual intensity from the first minute, though, from all the United players, including the subs that come on as well.
I think that's why that midfield was better than what we've seen it in, because the intensity, they were jumping on him, they were on him all the time. So the intensity's there. So they've got the work rate. Ruben Amorim's got a system there, and he's got these players playing for him. And when did you say that last year? We never said it. These players are playing for Ruben Amorim. and you can't ask for any more when you look at what happened last season.
Who was your man of the match today?
Oh, do you know what? I don't know. DeLitt. I would say DeLitt. He played excellent.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on that match in the comments section, and smash that like button if you want to help support the channel. We'll be back up in the next one, so get that notification on, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.